but the library is 50 years old this summer.
That's a big number, and the fact that when you take a look at what's happened with technology, the library has really kept up. I mean, you and I go back to card catalogs.
Oh, absolutely. We used to have a card catalog when the library first opened 50 years ago. It was a demonstration library. We had about 45,000 items, and it has become a huge system-wide, 10 buildings, and everything's electronic.
Now, when you say demonstration library, what does that mean?
The state was starting libraries in rural communities, and believe it or not, this area used to be considered a rural community. And so we had, before my time, of course, I'm barely 50 myself. It was set up as the state to promote libraries across the state of Virginia. And it worked as a demonstration library, and then it became a fully fledged regional library. It had 4 counties in the city of Fredericksburg, and it was an experiment in libraries in Virginia in those days, and it worked.
Boy, I was going to say, what an experiment, because what a success. You take a look at, I just look at just the branches, whether it's Porter or Salem Church or the Howell Library. Those are all such parts of those communities.
Oh, they're huge. They're huge. They're in neighborhoods, a lot of them. People are used to going in. They go in on a regular basis. Some people go daily. They bring their kids over in the wagon or the stroller. They walk their dogs over. They come for pause for reading or story times. Use a computer, fill out their application for a job. It started out with this big building, the Colonial Beach branch. We had a tiny building in Spotsylvania Courthouse, another 1 or 2 out in Caroline County, and Stafford eventually had one on 610, and then big new branches were built as this community grew so much.
One of the other things that I think you can, when you take a look at the Central Rappahannock Regional Library, just the stability, just the leadership has, over the years, it's always been very stable.
It has been. We have wonderful support from our communities, and that's partly what gives us our stability. Stafford County and Spotsylvania County support us very heavily. Fredericksburg and Westmoreland counties do as well. There was the same library director here for 34 years. I've been the director for 3.5 years. We have staff who have been here 30 or 40 years. Yeah. We do have longevity and stability, and we're just here to serve the community, and we'll continue to do that, we hope, for another 50 years at least.
Well, when you talk about technology and card catalogs, I mean, you have really kept up, and this library is, I mean, I remember the days when I used to come down to the library with my kids and we would check out videos, and people then were like, well, videos at a library.
We have VHS tapes.
Yes.
When my children were little, I used to check them out all the time.
Yep.
Then we went to DVDs. We went from books on cassette to books on CD. We now have downloadable audiobooks, downloadable ebooks, downloadable magazines. We have about 70,000 e-resources. We still purchase a lot of print, of course, but the days of the paper card catalog went from paper to microfiche to an online catalog, and we have a very robust online catalog, and people use it all the time. We really love it.
As you look to the future, I mean, it's hard to imagine. I mean, 50 years ago, they could have never imagined what this place looks like.
No, they couldn't have. It's always been a cutting-edge library system. We have self-checkouts for about 10 years. We have new self-checkout machines that look a little bit robotic, but they're not really robots. We have maker equipment now. We serve lunches right over here in partnership with Fredericksburg City Schools, and at 2 of our other locations, people can get food if they qualify, or they can get lunches for their children if they need them. So no one would have thought 50 years ago that you'd be having people check out their own things on a machine, get a lunch while you're there, produce that goes to the food bank, and some of our gardens. We have library gardens at 3 of our locations. Nobody thought that we might have a robot or a drawing screen or any digital equipment, and we have a lot of that sort of thing. So we're just following, we're going forward into the 21st century.
And you're at the town center with a branch that's wildly popular.
We are. We just had a program there with 138 people. We had to have it in the mall hall, in the main part of the mall. They won't fit in our branch there. It's very popular. We've issued over 500 cards just at that location since it opened less than a year ago. About 10 months ago it opened. So we're just thrilled with that location. Who would have thought 50 years ago that we would have a branch of a library inside a shopping mall, but it's been very popular, and we're really thrilled with that. Cafaro companies in Spotsylvania County have helped us with that tremendously.
Well, and you mentioned about the people that you have working at all the branches, incredibly talented and helpful and enthusiastic.
Oh, they're wonderful people. Librarians are a really special breed, and all of the people who work for the library to support the librarians and all of our mission, they love books, they love people, they love serving their community, they're creative and they're talented, and we are very, very fortunate to have such a fantastic library system in this community.
I always tell people, if you haven't been to the library in a while, just go into a branch. You will not believe how open and bright and colorful it is.
It's beautiful. They're welcoming. There's comfortable chairs. There's couches. You can bring your own laptops in. You can use our Wi-Fi 24/7, including at this building. You can pull up and use it in the middle of the night in your car if you need to. You could have something faxed or scanned. You can have something photocopied. You can print off from our computers. And you can have something notarized. We have notary publics at every location, and we don't charge for those services. So those are all available for free.
It's so interesting that mid-'90s, when the internet was really catching fire, I can remember even local officials questioning whether, are we going to really need a bricks and mortar building? And the answer is yes.
Yes, we do. We do. Amazingly, at least 25% of America does not have access to high-speed internet. So in our rural communities, we've recently opened 2 satellite locations out in Spotsylvania County, one at the Belmont Ruritan Club and one at the Partlow Ruritan Club. Those are bricks and mortar buildings where we go with books, laptops, things for children, story times, movies, and magazines and other things that anybody can access. People still like a place to go in the community that is a community resource. And they can come and hang out as long as they wish to. They can get a meal if they have kids. They can check out books and movies. They can use a computer. It's a place in the community that's sort of a third place to go. There's work, there's church, there's schools, there's libraries. And people do still love a bricks and mortar building. We have our music on the steps every Monday night, and people just come down here and listen to the concert. So people want a place. They don't want to just be stuck in their homes on the internet by themselves all the time.
Well, happy birthday. The Central Rappahannock Regional Library, it's a great part of this community.
Thank you very much, Ted. We hope everyone has a library card. If you don't, you can get one on our website.
LibraryPoint.org.
That's right.